And that's tough to do,
There's
Brian.
that, you know?
Fox News alert now. The Senate set to vote on the first budget deal in 2 years. Some Republicans crying foul, saying the compromise comes at the expense of our nation's heroes, the ones who have served us the most. Good morning. I'm Bill Himmer, and welcome here to America's Newsroom.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum. So we are awaiting that full Senate vote this morning on the bipartisan budget deal. First time we've seen this in a long time. It is expected to pass when it heads to the Hill for that full vote. And some Senate Republicans are outraged over the cuts to benefits for veterans of our armed forces, calling this part of this deal simply unthinkable.
Think about it. Someone has been injured in Afghanistan, one of our men and women in uniform. We've all been to Walter Reed. They've received a disability retirement, and what happens? Here's our thanks to you. We're going to cut your cost of living increase.
When 1% of the population who has served so hard, fought so long, and sacrificed so much winds up in this boat, it tells me that Congress has forgotten what our primary job is, to defend this nation.
Stuart Varney, host of Varney & Company, Fox Business Network. Stuart, good morning.
Morning, Bill.
How much is being cut from benefits if this passes?
The total is $6 billion will be cut from veterans' benefits over a period of 10 years. $6 billion in 10 years. And as you heard, Bill, that's not going down well with some Senate Republicans, because overall spending will be increased. But the vets and their benefit cuts are still in place. Focus on the highly emotional issue of wounded warriors. They will see cuts in their cost of living allowances. By one estimate, it could cost some of those wounded warriors up to $124,000 over a long 20-year period. But those wounded warriors will see cuts, and that's not going down well.
Do civilian workers face the same cuts?
No, sir, they do not. Overall, spending is going to go up. Some of the cuts under the sequester rules will be restored, but those cuts to the military's benefits are still in place.
Wow.
That's why they're saying, look, you're doing this budget on the backs of the military.
That's right. Do you expect this to pass? It appears that it will.
Yes, it will.
Right.
Look, I don't count votes, but it looks very much likely it will pass.
So it's a 2-year deal on the budget. You could argue that's good for stability, but it does nothing to go after that $17 trillion in debt, Stuart.
That is correct. It does nothing about the long-term debt of the United States. But what it does do is give you some degree of stability. Specifically, there will not be a government shutdown next month because of the budget.
Stuart, thank you. See you at 9:20 in FBN. Okay, Stuart Varney leading our coverage there. We will follow that from Washington. Martha has more now.
Well, as you can imagine, many of Americans' veterans are not happy with this bill. Two of them speaking out last night on the Kelly file. One is a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. The other, a Navy veteran whose husband is currently deployed. Both say that this leaves them feeling betrayed.
We're $17 trillion in debt. We better do something about our spending in this country. But the Ryan Murray budget deal, A, doesn't do anything about that, and B, the only cuts it actually brings about are on the backs of military retirees and medically disabled retirees. There's ways to get at changing the pension and retiree system for the military, and we need to do that. Not this way, not now. It baffles the mind that this would be okay on Capitol Hill.
It breaks a trust with them. The military families, our membership and in general are not saying that it's inevitable that there will be cuts, but to do it in a responsible way that engages the commission that was created to do so.
So much reaction on this story today. Meanwhile, the budget deal passed with bipartisan support in the House, overwhelmingly so, but you probably will not be able to say the same for the Senate. Senators McConnell and Reed likely will not be sending Christmas cards to one another on this.
So as we end the year, it's a tragedy the way the Senate is being run into the ground by basically one person. And I hope that one of the majority leader's New Year's resolutions is going to be to operate the Senate in a quite different manner.
Well, I'm very happy, satisfied that we had 12 Republicans voted with us to move forward the bipartisan budget agreement. I look forward to final passage of this sometime tomorrow to avert another dangerous and costly government shutdown in January.
So one of the more vocal opponents of the military cuts in this budget deal is Mississippi Republican Roger Wicker. He's voting no today, he says. He's going to join us a bit later this morning to tell us why, so we will talk to him about all that.
That is coming.